22nd of May and it's snowing.
You're John. I'm Dave.
Muhammad Ali.
He's got a heart made of yellow barley straw.
I saw the cormorants here, so I just come in to watch them. They've been here for several years, and they feed here wherever, and they're in the river right now because due to the higher water, the minnows are moving and the fish are starting to move into spawn. They're fishing here. I've seen them the last few days, and it's because the dam hasn't been open, so there's not a free flow of water, so the fish are at both sides. They'll nest on islands down probably up at the far end of Pasqua Lake, where they're safe. They won't nest around here like the other migrating ducks, because these are divers, and in some countries they use them as fishermen. In Malaysia and countries in Japan, they put rings around their neck and they catch the fish and they come up and they tame them. Nobody hunts them that I'm aware of because they feed on fish primarily, so they would be not too palatable.
Oh.
And they'd be very oily.
Are you still a member of Ducks Unlimited?
Oh yes.
How are the ducks doing?
Not bad, not bad. We were up at Ituna the other day and I saw the largest concentration of migrating snow geese I've seen in years. I'm sure there must have been 250,000. They were on both sides of the road, in the air, and just everywhere, about 3 miles east of Ituna.
That's amazing.
I drive around just to see things.
Yeah. It's a good way to pass the time, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Do you believe in migration during the winter?
I don't mind winter.
Yeah.
But if you could go away for 6 months, sure.
Yeah.
Or even 3.
Yeah.
Or even just the month of March, because that's the worst one.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It has everything you don't
Everything.
like.
It rains, it freezes. It snows. We're in January, February, it's just cold.
And the wind in March is just wicked.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you could just go away for March, that would be good.
Meadowlarks anymore.
Nope, I can't remember the last time I heard of Meadowlark.
I haven't heard one. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a very distinctive, something like that.
We're not a good bird imitator.
It's kind of like a whippoorwill, but I'm not sure I've ever heard a whippoorwill. But yeah,
They got
But
at the end.
yeah, but really, really distinctive.
Yeah.
And they,
Yeah, it's very
and
sharp.
I don't know what happened to them, but there used to be meadowlarks on every telephone pole.
Oh, I think they are still in the south, aren't they?
jeez, I don't know.
I
can't
think
remember the last time I heard of it.
I haven't heard one.
Pesticides.
No,
Yeah,
I doubt it. Why are there more mourning doves than we've ever had?
Those rotten bastards. I don't know. They're probably because they're evil.
There's lots
But
of them.
lots of them, and there you, yeah, you hear them, and you never used to hear them.
That's Canadian quail.
This is for us. One old goat and one cute chick. For my art supplies. So then when I go somewhere, I have them all. When I go to teach a class or something,
You
then
got
I
that many
can...
art supplies?
Yeah,
Oh no, if you really need it, the price just went up. Something everybody should have.
he was 4.
Oh, it's
Oh, to make you feel good.
see how Joe's massage thing works.
There's American Dime in the suitcase.
Suitcase is free.
Aha! Now that feels good.
Buck.
A buck?
Hello everyone, I'm Ann Davis and you're in my dining room today. I've still got the book where they described what you were coming to when you to Canada. At that time of year, he came out in 1912. Actually, he was destined to sail on the Titanic, and they asked him if he would take an earlier ship because there were so many people who wanted to come on the Titanic. So he arrived on March the 30th on the Victoria. See you next time. That's it for today.
John.
I'm Dave.
And we're the hardware guys. Actually, Dave, I've moved on. I sell real estate now.
So we're the house and hardware guys?
Right on.
I would migrate to British Columbia for a couple 3 weeks. That's about as far as I would migrate.
How are you, Jen?
Well, being that we have beautiful winters here, I think that I would have to say that I need somewhere that I still had snow, because we got awesome summers here, and the distinct part about Canada is the weather change kind of thing. So it's sort of nice. So I'd go as far south as where they still had snow, but it stayed, or west, you know, where you kind of get snow flurries and they're kind of gone. But you know, you still kind of need. I wouldn't go somewhere like Hawaii where it was summer all year round, because then you'd have no change. And I think with the seasons change, I think it changes your ability as well, your emotion. Bye.
Okay, traffic report. Just about to drive into the Qu'Appelle Valley on a beautiful summer's afternoon. Things seem pretty quiet. There was a tractor in the field back there, but it wasn't moving, so that doesn't really qualify as traffic. I think by definition, if it ain't moving, it ain't traffic. So there, we won't try to be traffic there because there's no exit. And we'll just kick her into neutral and just freewheel down this hill, conserve energy. Certainly want to be cognizant of the contribution this vehicle is making to the buildup of greenhouse gases. But I can't turn the motor off because the power steering gets awful difficult without the motor there. But see, the RPMs go down to about 8,000, so that's not bad. Or sorry, 800, not 8,000. Nice garden. Very slow traffic there. I can see those onions growing, but they're moving so slowly that they hardly qualify as traffic, but it is movement. So if it's moving, it's traffic. That's the rule. This is the old Maloney Hill, it's called. And I don't know why it's called the Maloney Hill, but it is. Maloney without an E. So probably way back in the old days, somebody named Maloney. Yeah, oh, another garden here. Potatoes. Nice crop of potatoes. You can, if you watch closely, you can notice that they're moving a little bit too. Though. So, oh, here we go. A white van. Looked to me like tourists, eh? Did you see how tentative that wave was? Probably a tourist. White van, and certainly moving as if they were on a mission, not moving at a leisurely summer's afternoon pace.
We have a responsibility here to show people other people. I mean, that's what a newspaper does. You show people who the people are down the street, who the people are in the next town, who the people are in the next country, who the people are on the other side of the world. I think a good newspaper shows people at their, in their truest form, and it always leads to better understanding. If people understand the neighbors down the street or down the road in the next town or on the other side of the world, they have more compassion for them. And I was in downtown Kabul where people were warning me not to stay. I was walking the streets, which people warned me not to do. I had the option. I could have stayed at the Canadian base, with 2,000 armed guards around me, but I didn't think I'd get as much of a sense of the country if I did that. People were absolutely shocked to see an obviously foreign person walking among them in the park, just walking in the park or climbing the hillside or walking through the old market in the city. I often had my camera with me to get a few pictures, and always ended up with a mob of kids, just completely surrounded by a mob of kids who wanted their pictures taken, and by grown-ups sometimes. Went down to the Kabul Zoo and had all the kids coming up, and one of the guards came up and, "Could you please take my picture? And can I please have a copy?" And we spent a lot of time getting pictures developed over there and then going back where we were the day before to give people copies, because this is a poor country. I think the average income is about $200 a year, so a photograph of themselves is something most people would never have or never have a chance to have. Because of the large foreign presence, there's so many UN workers, so many aid workers in Kabul that you can buy a computer there. There's about 20 30-minute photo places all in a line, all next to each other. And there's good foreign restaurants and whatnot. There's industry that's sprung up to serve the foreign population, which in a way sort of highlights the terrible situation there. When you know that people are so poor, and yet you've got nice restaurants where people can go and have a nice meal and have a nice bottle of wine. They're spending more on the bottle of wine than the people who are serving them are making in 6 months. I was in homes where people had obviously nothing. They had a dirt floor and mud walls, and they would offer you tea and they'd offer you whatever they had in the house to eat, and it was, if you want to stay for dinner, stay for dinner. If you want to spend the night, spend the night. You're in our home, you're our guest, we'll do anything for you. I knew there was certainly a possibility I could be killed. People are killed there every day, and the UN estimates between 150 and 300 aid workers, foreign journalists, etc., are killed every month there. That's where they see they're going to have an impact if they can scare the foreigners away or keep the foreigners out. That's going to help them keep control of it. Most people in that country, that's what their biggest worry is, that the world's going to forget about them again. They're worried that after a couple of years, maybe after a few months after an election takes place, the world may say, okay, that's it, we've fixed Afghanistan, and turn its attention elsewhere. And the big fear over there is once that happens, it's going to be just like before. Already, there's some very powerful warlords over there, and if there's no one watching, it's a brutal country. There's some brutal people there, and there are feuds. There's hatred that goes back generations, until one day these people look around and say, yes, we're a country, we're not this clan against that clan, this family against that family, this city against that city, we're one country. People are reading it, and that's the important thing. Hopefully it'll help people understand a little bit better what life is like on the other side of the world. That these are people just like them, with hopes and dreams and fears, and who just want to live in peace and be able to make a living and live their lives. They're proud, and they're strong, and they're independent, and they're going to eventually put their country in order, but they're going to do it on their terms.
great. It's a nice and sunny day. It's been a difficult time of year this year anyway, this season, yeah.
Do you notice any flocks of birds about?
A little bit, yeah. They've been hovering about and gathering and making plans for when to leave. If it's too late, they'll be stuck.